Welcome to another brand new episode of Tribal Council Chat. I am one of your regular hosts. My name is Bruce Heller. Brett is still somewhere in the world. So I've got AJ, who was here last week, and my co host from Pit Stop Pals, Kevin Oliver, both here for episode 12 of Survivor 49. What's up, guys?
Nothing much. I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Kevin?
It's going great, going great. Had a day off, so just been kind of chilling.
Nice,
Nice.
nice. So, episode 12, Survivor 49. What do you guys think of this?
You want to go first? I can go. Whatever you
Go
want
for
to
it, man.
do. I think this is arguably a top three, if a top five, if not top three episode of the new era, in my opinion. I thought it was fantastic.
I do love that you came on here last week and said tribal is usually boring, and we got to
Yeah.
tribal this week.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I should have been more specific. I more so mean the tribal council questioning is always boring, which this week it still pretty much was. It was the same old stick.
Bro,
So at least when it was time to vote and then on, it was phenomenal. So
that's because he wants answers and they don't want to give answers because they don't want to reveal things.
it
So
makes, yeah, it makes sense. It's just like it doesn't have to be as long as it is. So
the
yeah.
crazy thing is, it's we only see part of it. It's usually a lot longer than what we
I
see.
know, and it's just baffling.
That
So
sounds miserable to sit through.
yeah.
hmm
Kevin, what'd you think of the episode?
I loved it. Bruce, I don't know why you keep asking me to go on here when we have epic episodes. One of the last times I was on here, we had Operation Italy, and now we're here, and let's see if I can screw over somebody again, right,
The
Bruce?
great thing is, both times I invited you on before the episode aired, and then we just got a masterpiece of an episode.
Yeah.
Me having the idea to invite you on is what created the masterpiece, is the story I'm going with.
And actually, the last time I was on here was um Eva's emotional episode of season
I
48.
forgot about
So
that.
Another
pretty
great
good running
episode,
track
yeah.
record.
Yeah,
Pretty good running track record.
as long as you don't do what you did with Andy and come on and say this person's gonna win and then they go home next.
I did that to Andy. I also gave my player of the week to Jay Maya in season 45 the week before she went home. So I'm kind of cursed. So we'll see
Yeah,
what
that's
happens.
crazy.
Apparently. So
And, and and they gave us a little Operation Italy reference tonight when I believe it Rizzo that said Operation Mexico or
Operation Mexico. I got it in my
yeah,
notes.
that was
Yeah,
yes,
good.
and
got
the
it in my notes.
Tres Leches they now are calling their alliance, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
What is this, Big Brother?
Yeah, I know, right?
Just without the butler costume,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Or the egg detective?
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
That was great. So, kind of diving in, my first note is we learned that Rizzo has been telling people his idol expires at 6, even though it expires at 5, so they won't vote for him at 6. That's fantastic.
I have some comments. Kevin, what do you think?
Yeah, you're
No,
making
I
mistakes.
I I I really like the move. And actually there was a quote from Rizzo earlier, like right before this, talking about Sophie's Blindside as God tier cinema. And my response was, no, Rizzo, I think your move here is God tier cinema.
The fact that he used that phrase and just is talking the way Gen Z talks on social media is hilarious. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, take a drink every time you hear cinema on this season.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. My take on this, I know the people on this show are fans, right? Like Sage and Christina and Steven or whoever else fell for this. They're fans of the show, right? They're not just like people that don't know it. But clearly they're not super fans of the show. In what world do you fall for this, in my opinion? Like, this is phenomenal by
No.
Rizzo to do, in my opinion. This is phenomenal.
I
But
mean,
like, I would have never fallen for that in ever. Like that was it, the show has been doing idols for like the regular form of the idol since season 14, right? and it's always expired at 5, never at 6. So how do they fall for this?
I all I can think of is the new era just throws weird rules out there with advantages sometimes.
I guess so, but like
I
it's
mean,
an idol. It's not even an advantage. Like it's
And
so
beyond that, on a different, I don't even remember who I was listening to. Somebody talk about this, and the fact of the matter is, there were other people in the game who would have been working with these same type of pre-merge idols that also fell for it, that would have known the rules.
yeah,
exactly. So I I
crazy.
just I don't know how you fall for that in this situation at all. It's not like it's one of those specific shot clock idols where like it specifically expires like 1 or 2 votes after you find it. Like
Yeah,
when are you ever gonna find an idol that says, nope, this specifically expires at final 6?
legacy advantage.
Yeah, but it's not an idol, it's a legacy advantage. So
It
like
it functions as an idol.
no,
You can pass it
correct, but
on.
like the legacy advantage is a parchment. Like Rizzo like
Yeah,
had this idol, like the physical little tiny
yeah.
bead since episode 5 or 4 or whatever it was.
We
So
ha
like
Now that I think about it, we haven't seen Legacy for a little while.
I know.
It's
Uh
good at what, 6 and 13, I think.
I think so.
yes. And I don't
I
want to
like that
discredit
one
this,
because you
but
pass it on to other people when you get voted out. They can't just flush it and get rid of it.
yeah,
I think knowledge is power also ended at 6, but
it did.
like
Yeah,
like you're
that got
saying, yeah,
misplayed, which we
it
knew it
did.
would. But
But anyway, like I wanted to say, like I'm giving a ton of credit to Rizzo because it's a great lie. But like when he said that, I was waiting for a confessional from like Steven or something saying like, I don't believe that at all. Of course it doesn't expire at 6. And that confessional never came. Like everyone just
yeah,
bought it. So I mean, good for him because it literally punched his ticket to the final 4 at final 6.
yeah.
But
And I will say, a couple weeks ago, and I might have said it last week too, but I was talking on here with Brett, and I said my initial thought was, wow, if he gets to the end with this thing, then I immediately thought of Xander. He is so much smarter with how he's keeping this than Xander was. I am no longer making that comparison in my head. Xander really didn't do anything with his because like people never saw him as a threat. They're actively trying to flush Rizzo's. He's coming up with lies like this. He does the thing he did at Tribal Council. Like that comparison's gone in my head now.
completely
Are they
agree.
actively trying to flush it?
They say they are more than they were in 41 at least, when just everybody knew he wouldn't get votes because I guess they didn't like him, so they just let him have it.
I was listening to Steven's exit interview from the show, and they were asking him if he was worried about Rizzo's idol. And he told us that from his point of view, all of Rizzo's theatrics are not going over well with the jury. So
Okay, so he might be Xander after all. I might have been right the
maybe,
first time.
maybe.
Interesting. I can
I
see
yeah.
that though, because it's a lot every week. So,
Kevin, I saw that too, and like his exit interview, and also like you can also tell in the episode that like the jury kind of doesn't like it very much. But at least in my opinion, I think he's doing a lot better of a job than Xander did.
100%.
but
So like
it could easily have the same result if they're feeling that way.
yeah, like whatever the jury thinks, that's not his problem. That's not his fault because I think Rizzo's playing a great game. But yeah, I think it's been a lot better of a job than Xander did, and even Eva last season too was basically the same thing.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
also see Sophi is again talking about how she doesn't feel she can go to the end with Savannah and Rizo and win, and this changes when they get to the reward, apparently. But that's just a note I made, just wondering if this was the episode she would make a big move for herself and turn, and that obviously ends up not happening, but that's kind of, they made a point to show us that.
Yeah, I think they made us a point to show us that so that what happened at the sanctuary would be even more elevated,
Yeah.
probably.
And speaking of the sanctuary where good things happen, we go to reward and we're playing for Mexican food. And I wrote down, I want this reward. I love Mexican food. But it's not just the Mexican food. They're staying overnight at the sanctuary where good things happen, and they get letters from home. This was already like I was writing down best reward of the season at Mexican food, but then it's overnight and letters from home. This is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, great reward. You knew Jeff was going to say best reward of the season because he literally always says that, like at these types of rewards.
But it's true
Um,
this time.
yeah, fair enough. I just, it was just so weird seeing Sophie say like she needs to flip on Savannah and Rizzo, and then 10 minutes later, yeah, I think we're going to the end together. So, I mean,
That reward really solidified that, I think.
Uh-huh.
yeah,
But the way this challenge works is we go through this like high step great thing, and then we use we like weave a bag through a ladder bridge and crawl under this thing to get a second bag. Then
And
we
a third bag.
untie knots to get a third bag. Then you have to throw them up and land one of them on a really tall pole.
And you have to search through all three of those bags to find your one sandbag that
Yeah,
is your color.
hmm
yeah, I forgot that part. I have it written down and forgot to read it. So
Jeez.
this was fun. Seems simple enough, but it was good. Savannah does win, and she takes Rizzo and Sophi, which was not surprising to me. I don't know about you guys, but
yeah, it wasn't shocking.
I
I
wasn't,
really, yeah. Oh, go ahead, go
no,
ahead.
I was just gonna say I wasn't surprised by it, but I didn't love it either.
yeah,
Um, I overall I liked the challenge. I thought it was good because I feel like anyone could win it. Because like at the end of the challenge, it's literally just kind of luck, also skill. Like, can you be the one to land it on there?
yeah.
This was the one that Noelle won in 43. I don't know if you guys remember that when she was
Oh
like
yeah,
When she,
hopping on one leg like
yeah,
behind the entire challenge. Um, but I think it was I at first I didn't think it was good that she took both of them, but then obviously hearing what Sophie Bellardi said at the reward, like
yeah.
obviously it was
That
the
worked out
correct
really
move
well.
because it solidified everything. So
The
right.
funny. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for Savannah, it was a great move. And in retrospect, it was a great move. But like in the moment, it's like that was kind of dumb.
oh, I
But
agree. Yeah.
also, I mean, even still, if people wouldn't have just like had their blinders onto whatever the hell ended up happening at Tribal Council, uh, it shouldn't have worked.
The crazy thing is, we're saying it was a good choice because Sophie was wavering and that solidified her. Savannah didn't know that.
Exactly.
That's the crazy part that this ended up being smart. Is she didn't even realize what she was doing.
It was unintentional. It was great.
But the editing right after this is great because we get this scene on our way to reward where Sophie's talking about how she's afraid there's going to be bad blood back at camp for reward selection. And then immediately cut to Sage back at camp. And Sophie was right.
Yeah, and then it gets to the rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I wrote down was Sage was convinced that not getting selected was karma.
Uh-huh.
I put quotes around karma for not getting Savannah out when she had the chance. My note was, "You've been gunning for her forever. I'm not surprised she didn't want to take you on a reward."
Yeah, sounds about familiar. Bruce, like half of our episode last week was just us talking about how we didn't understand why she didn't take out Savannah over Sophie.
And
And look at her now. I mean,
even though like it was a little much, I get her like being annoyed this time. Like anyone that misses out on the letters from home is going to be upset. That's almost like uh, it's not as bad as the loved ones in person, but like once the family from home gets involved in the reward, I almost don't want to win because I don't
Yeah.
want to have to make that choice and leave people out because this happens.
yeah, it's like the one you don't want to win. That's what it's always been.
But
Yeah.
so Sage is convinced it's karma. Christina tells Sage and Steven that she spills the beans that Sophie's ready to make a big move against Savannah. And so they're really kind of starting us to think here. Maybe this big move is going to happen. Maybe she'll flip on these two. And so Steven then tells Christina and Sage about his secret block of vote too. So
Hmm.
like those three are really like they're solidified now. They probably were already, but and so we flip back to the reward, and this is where Sophi tells us in a confessional that this reward has really re-solidified her with Savannah and Rizo as a trio. That's who she's going to the end with. Which I at this point, based on your confessionals, the last two episodes, I feel like you're resigning yourself to second or third place right now. Depending on how upset the jury is with Rizzo's idol, you might get second, but you're not beating both of them. Right.
Completely agree.
And
I
I
mean,
like all three of them, so I like that they're working together, but Sophie's my favorite, and I'm kind of like, what are you doing? This is not
I
helpful for
know.
you.
And it's like she said, like she admits that she knows it's a bad idea, and she goes, "But I guess the universe. This is a sign from the universe telling me that I should just stay with him." And I think that's stupid.
We got karma and signs from the universe in back-to-back scenes.
Yeah, and Shannon has been out of the game for about 7 weeks.
Oh, that's a good reference. At
Um,
this point, I'm like, okay, I'm over the universe and karma and whatever.
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, I know. Um,
But she,
oh, yeah,
because
go
she
ahead.
feels solidified, she tells them about her knowledge is power here now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin, you were saying how when you were on for 47, you like thought Andy was gonna win. You cursed him and he went home the next week. Bruce, last week you and I basically said the entire time Sophie's winning the game. Like Sophie's gonna win the game. And then we basically cursed her this week to where she makes a big blunder and now she's not gonna win the
And
game.
they met it again. Like I like when my favorites are working together, so I like this trio. But yeah, not good move for her. They made
Yeah.
us think that she was. They made us think that she was reconsidering with the Rizzo Idol confessionals later, but I don't know how believable that actually was or how much she was
No,
actually considering that.
not at all.
Yeah, I guess
That's kind
not.
of the vibe I got. I'm like, okay, I hope she's not. I don't think she is, but might be interesting. But
She
yeah,
they just gotta make it look like that.
my biggest issue with this season is the people online that leak who the returnees are.
Well,
If
you
you
knew that was
know,
gonna
like,
happen.
there's been two
Like,
or three times the episode would have been really interesting, and oh, who's gonna go home? But the other option is Savannah or Rizzo, and you know they're not gonna go home that early.
oh, it's been like that like 5 or 6 times. Like it's been like that a lot.
At
Yeah.
at this point, I feel like this is late enough. Either one of them could have gone this episode, but
Hmm.
this season would have been so much more interesting if we didn't know they were coming back.
I know. I the post merge, this is like a top tier post merge if we did not know. It still has been really good, but like it would have been so good had we not knew.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't know if you were gonna move on from the reward or not, but the scene during the reward when like both trios were talking about what advantages they had, I thought was so good. Do you know what scene I'm talking about? Any either of
Maybe.
you?
Yeah.
Like after they were done eating, but they were still at the sanctuary where good things happen. They were talking about Sophie's knowledge is power, whatever. But then it cut back to the three at camp and Steven showing the three of them the block a vote like you mentioned earlier. So like I thought it was really cool editing because it showed Steven, Christina, and Sage. Oh, look at us. We got a block a vote. They're not going to know what's coming. We're going to win the vote 3-2. And then it cuts back to the sanctuary where the three of them are like, well, we got this knowledge is power. We're going to steal the advantage. Whatever they have, we're going to beat them because we have this, so we're better. But then
It's
if you
so
think
good.
about it, Steven can play his advantage before the knowledge of power gets played, so then they'd be in the majority. But then you think about the editing, you know that they're not going to win the day. So like I just thought the back and forth was really good.
And like again, we're late enough now that I feel like either one of the two returnees could reasonably go here at 6. So I'm like, okay, this could get interesting. If it comes down to an advantage war, the other side, the Steven and Sage side, has the advantage here because of the weird secret part of it. They won the advantage war, and still lost one of their people because two of them turned.
To be fair,
Like,
I do.
what a result.
I mean, to be fair, as Christina and Sage not knowing that Sophi got resolidified at the away,
Yeah.
I think that Sage and Christina's decision at Tribal Council is understandable,
Yeah.
but that's whatever. Also, Bruce, I wanted to tell you that I did write the words "where good things happen" in my notes after the
Yes.
sanctuary.
I told AJ that I call it that every time last week, and he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said that on purpose about 2 minutes ago because I knew it would make you laugh.
Yeah.
So
But I don't know if it was me talking to Kevin or just some comment I read on Facebook or Twitter somewhere. Someone somewhere in the world said they weren't sure if Sophi could tell Savannah and Rizzo at this point about knowledge is power because they would
That
be
was me.
upset that she hid it for so long.
I commented that on a post.
Okay, so it might have been you and not me talking to you, just reading that.
Yeah, you read my thought.
Ended up not being a problem. They were both psyched.
Well, yeah,
So,
when she like brought it to them, my biggest thing was like her trying to play it, or even if she would have tried to bring it to him, but they hadn't, like I couldn't have expected for the tightness of Operation Mexico to happen
yeah,
like it did.
Chase.
Yeah, Trace Leach's alliance to happen in the way it did. I do think that in most situations, if Sophie's like, hey guys, look at this that I've been keeping from you for 6 weeks,
Yeah,
they'd be like, huh, wonder why you didn't tell me. But
well,
since they're like this
6
now,
weeks. The game isn't 6 weeks long.
6 episodes, my bad. Six rounds. There we go. Of play.
I'm just being difficult. I figured that was what you meant.
You always are being difficult.
But no,
Bruce, so.
I'm with you. Just the editing of okay, it's a 3 versus 3, and it's two solid sets of what seems like two solid sets of 3 where no one's flipping. Ended up we got 2 flips, and both sides have an advantage that the other side doesn't know what it is, and one side doesn't know the other side has theirs at all. Just such a cool setup going.
I thought it was great. Yeah,
I love it. And so, also,
and of course you gotta love the scene where they're reading their letters.
That's what I was about to say. I love the letters from home scene every time. I miss the loved ones in person, but the letters are as good as we can get without them being in person. I love the letters every time.
yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
And the letters were followed up with Savannah telling us how awkward returning to camp was. That was a bit of a change of pace.
Yes.
There was also somewhere in there that AJ mentioned earlier where the rat ran into Sage's foot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When she was sleeping.
I just killed a mouse in my house like a week ago, and I had named it Tiny Tina. So I wrote Tiny Tina's mom ran into Sage's foot in my notes.
Why is her mom so far away from her kid? That seems a bit neglectful.
Yeah, probably was, but her mom's dead, so it's okay. Or not her mom. Her mom's not dead. She's dead.
Well,
that rat's probably dead too. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite just wildlife camp scenes is Borneo, where like they had chickens or something, and Komodo dragons showed up and took them or ate them.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like I like Komodo dragons a lot, so that's kind of cool. But imagine just being that close to those monsters.
I know.
But yeah, so we move into the immunity challenge, and basically the way it works is you use your foot to balance a ball on a balance beam, and if the ball falls off, you're out. Pretty simple endurance challenge. You're just standing there with your leg up in the air like you're doing the crane kick from Karate Kid. And I'm wearing my Cobra Kai shirt when I made that reference, so that's kind of funny.
That is funny.
But it comes down to Sage and Savannah, and Savannah's really a challenge beast at this point. Like, she's coming down to it was her and Sophi a few times, it's her and Sage now.
Her and Steven.
Yeah. And it's this standoff, and eventually, this is where I could tell Savannah was going to win, because we can tell Sage is struggling, because she starts pitching to Savannah to try to make a deal to let her win.
Yes.
And she says the phrase, "If you can trust me, I can get both of us through this." And I'm thinking, there's no way. Why would you believe that?
Yeah, obviously Savannah's never dropping in that situation. I think the challenge itself is a good challenge. I hated that they did this at Final Six. I think it's way too late in the game to do endurance-based challenges for immunity, in my opinion.
I
Because
mean, we did just reference Borneo. They did one at like three.
well,
You
yeah,
got to
well,
And
realize that was
everyone seems to
Borneo.
want
ex
that to come back. So,
okay, okay, two things. One, like Kevin said, that was Borneo. Second, in my opinion, idle hands is the great, not idle hands, hands on a hard idle is the greatest immunity challenge of all time. That should always be the final immunity challenge, but that's besides the point.
Wait a
I'm
second here. What?
exact. I
you're
was still
proving
talking.
my point in
I
your
was still
argument.
talking, okay? I think those are two, yes, hands on a hard idle is endurance, but like it's a different kind of endurance where it's literally just how badly do you want it? It's the
Yeah,
final challenge. Go out and win it. This is final six is endurance, like it's still skill based where like women are obviously going to be a lot more favorable, or someone like in Savannah's stature are going to be more favorable to win it. And like we've already seen a bunch of these types of challenges this season. Like last season, there were too many upper body strength endurance challenges that David and Joe were just going to win the entire time. It wasn't fair to
yeah,
the women. So this season, they've basically just flip-flopped it, where they've done like a bunch of lower body strength, like hip-based
yeah.
endurance challenges
Core
that favor
strength.
women that Savannah's just going to win all of. And I think Final Six, like I would have liked to see an obstacle course or like a different type of challenge. I don't know.
Or
Um,
or running a full lap around the island and like unlocking a combination lock as you do it, right?
I just I I know I sounded very hypocritical with the hands on a hard idle thing, but like I think they're just two different types of challenges.
Yeah, it was great
Um,
It
content though.
that
Back to
was so
back.
funny.
Shouldn't do
yes,
endurance this late. Hands on hard idle should always be final.
yes,
Great
it's
back to
just
back sentences.
100%. It's just as long as you can understand what I was getting at.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it now.
Yes. And I Savannah, like all props to her. It's like she's been great at these challenges, but every single challenge she's won has been this type of challenge. So that's just more on the producers for not switching it up.
Yeah. I do
If they're
think Sage showed her hand that she was desperate when she started trying to negotiate.
yeah.
Yeah, like you could hear Savannah say, like, okay, lock in, this is it. Like she knew she was about to win.
And also, if Savannah had believed Sage and let her win there, she'd be home right now. There's no way Savannah meant that. Or Sage meant that.
Yeah,
Mm.
not at all.
I mean,
May we not neglect the fact either that both of them obliterated Dividar's record on
dude,
this
Oh
challenge.
yeah, that's
they
true.
went so long. That's so cool. I love, even when it's players I love, I like seeing challenge records get broken like that.
No,
Mhm.
exactly. Couldn't agree more. Do you guys remember how long they went? Because I don't even remember. Like
35 minutes.
how many?
Not as long as the final immunity from Palau.
11 hours and 55 minutes. Kevin, how long did you say it was?
35 minutes.
Okay, and D was 24 minutes,
He was
right?
24, yeah.
Okay. But
I
so
was
good for them
right.
for breaking that record. That's cool.
That's generally from now on going to be my answer for how long a challenge went when I don't know the specifics. Is shorter than the Palau final immunity, and I'll always be right.
And well, until you're not. But you always will be right because
I
production
would
would
love
never
to. I would love for someone to make me wrong on that. Honestly,
it would
Okay,
production would never give us a challenge that's going to result in that.
production
exactly.
problems are not my problems. That's
Um,
why you called
Well,
me their worst
technically they
nightmare.
are. Technically they
okay.
are.
Out of out of all the things we voted for 50, like during like the, how we remember how we voted for
Yeah,
like what we wanted. I think the thing I was most disappointed about out of anything we could have voted on was that hands on a hard idol was not one of the options for final immunity because they don't want to do that anymore.
I just didn't
Well,
Production,
production
didn't like
schedule
it.
doesn't allow.
exactly.
They
And it
gave us a
sucked
yeah.
because it's the biggest immunity challenge of the biggest season of the show. And we're going to do the final immunity challenge from 46, which is the one I voted for. I thought it was pretty cool. A random obstacle course or some motion that we've seen 10 times. So
I voted for Samotion just because I really didn't recognize the other two super well. But
I
I
voted
hated
for
that they
the
gave me a
46.
list of options where I ended up voting for Samotion. I wasn't happy voting. I had to vote for something,
I
but
think Samotion's a good challenge. Just
they overuse it though.
we've seen it a lot. And I think the 46 one is very cool because the big Plinko set.
Yeah,
That was the one I voted for.
I
Me
So
like
too.
I
yeah,
like Samotion as a challenge. They just overuse it, and it's always final immunity when they use it.
exactly. So hands on a heart, I don't not being there. I don't know how they could have done it with the stupid production schedule, but like, please, at least
I don't know. They're smart. They can figure it out. That's not our problem.
Personally, I my favorite final immunity is the only thing that I think needs to return from the 20s of this show is the whole massive thing where you have like five different stations and you got to like run back and
Oh
forth
yeah.
with beats. That's my favorite.
I love that, and I'm a huge Kelly Wentworth fan, and she won that in
Okay.
Second Chance.
Yeah.
I love that challenge. That is a great challenge.
Now, me and Kevin have had this argument, and this falls under the it won't happen because of the short production schedule. But if we had more time, my favorite challenge is Last Gasp, which is already creates stress and drama. But if you add the stakes of final immunity to Last Gasp, that's what I want to see. But
I
26 days, so and everything
I
It,
that's
I,
paid.
I love Last Gas. Definitely one of my favorites as well. It's amazing. I don't think they could do it as a final immunity challenge though.
They can't because of the production time and
it
the way
I
Mr.
it's
works.
not
regardless,
production time. That's not
yes,
my argument.
I think people would get pissed and say it's way too much of a it's not an unfair challenge, but like I think people would say it's too much of an unfair challenge for it to be final immunity. I don't know what Kevin's argument is, but
My argument is they can't take a risk of 43 happening with a final immunity challenge being at stake.
sure, that's
Which
another
I
good point.
get, but that's happened once in like the thousand times they've done it.
I think if they did it again, they definitely would make sure that they I knew you were gonna do that shit, Bruce. God
I
damn
was
it.
kind of just doing like the like arm thing, then I realized it looked like the other thing, so I did the other thing.
But I if they were to do Last Gasp again, like they would make sure I feel like that they did it in a way harder area or how like they would do it better. But
Again, they're smart. They can figure this stuff out. That's not my job. I'm the idea person.
Yeah, and they can tell you your idea is wrong.
There's a reason Kevin once called me production's worst nightmare, and it wasn't even on this show. It was on our Amazing Race show. I
It's true.
forget what I said, but it
I've
was
AJ, I
always
would like to point out though, this is the first time Bruce has pitched that idea, but said we can't do it because of production schedule. He's never made that preface before. He always just
I,
says we should do this.
I'm still not saying that they can't do it because 43 might happen. 43 happened once. That's
It
not,
happened once, but it's
but
still a possibility, and they can't give us something where they could have two winners on a final immunity challenge.
yeah, I think they'd fix it though. Like they do, they would just put them
just
further
put it
out.
in a different area of the water. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not a science naturist.
I mean,
Also,
but there's still a point where the tide goes back down.
yeah, it's just
What if they make the grate adjustable so that when the tide goes down far enough, they can just push the grate down? Problem solved.
Good,
um
good luck with that.
So
also don't
Savannah does end up winning this.
okay.
So I was happy with that. I don't want to see her go. And
She
so
was looking stone cold when she won, and everyone went over to hug Sage, and she was just standing off to the side. Like I couldn't tell if she was just like giving Sage a moment or like it was just in the heat of things, but like she looked stone cold badass when she didn't go over and give Sage a hug and everyone else did. I was like, damn.
she eventually did, didn't she?
I I don't remember. She probably did like after everyone else and they were walking back to the bench, but like before that, like I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy to see this simply because I don't want Savannah to do well anymore, and I do want Sage to do well.
Sage has
So
been your favorite player in the game for how long? Since like the second or third episode?
since the marooning,
Okay. I couldn't remember.
the moment that she said the words,
I like
I
Tuesday,
had to
whatever
stop
it
and
was.
pee 3 times, so
Oh,
sorry for whoever was behind me and got moon or saw the full moon. Actually, because of my hips, it's more like a half moon or crescent moon or whatever she said. Since she said that, she's been my favorite player.
I forgot
That
about that.
that was a good line.
We've gotten some good lines. We got that. We got, I forget how she phrased it, but basically, I like pooping or something like that. We
Yep.
got the blackheads in a jar.
It's been a
But
lot.
Oh, today, this time she said, um, I'd rather be eating tacos in the sanctuary than getting attacked by big rats, but I'll take what I can get.
Oh yeah, that was
yeah.
good. And she called Rizzo a freaking turd.
Speaking of Rizzo, we see him approach Sage here after immunity about voting out Steven. And we get an interesting confessional. Sage tells us, the audience, that Steven's the one person that can beat her, so he is a logical target, but Christina has a close relationship with him, and she might not want to blindside her. That's
Is
Mhm.
interesting.
Steven the one person that can beat Christina?
That my first note hearing Sage say Steven's the one person that can vote me is you literally said the phrase you handed Savannah a win last week.
I
So
will
is it
never get
one
over
person
that.
that can beat you or is it two? Either way, what she's saying makes sense of someone being a logical target, but you don't want to blindside your other close ally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we see with the vote, she was able to get Christina on board. But if Christina was less flexible on that, I'm wondering where that would have gone.
We'll get to tribal. I have my thoughts. I don't think it was a good move. I know, Kevin, you said it was a good move. I don't think it was a good move.
I don't think it was a good move for the two of them because now they're outnumbered 3-2 at five. But, I mean,
Yeah,
once
I get where you're
images and
saying.
idols start flying, you just have to play self preservation.
Yeah.
So, Christina, speaking of, she has a bit of a slip up and tells Steven his name is out there after Sage tells her this.
I don't
I
I didn't
don't.
even think that was that big of a deal, to be honest. Like Steven had that whole like spaghetti analogy. I was like, okay, like they're allies, so what?
I
Like
was. That's what I was gonna say next. Is Steven gives us a confessional where he says Christina is a sloppy player and her game is like a big bowl of spaghetti where she has sauce on her face while the rest of us are eating with forks and knives. That was my favorite quote of the episode, I think. That made me laugh.
that was good.
I had a different Steven quote when we get to tribal that was my favorite
The
of the
the
episode.
shins and then
Yeah.
with
I
the
wrote that
coffee
one down
tables,
too.
and you
He
can
said,
see the
"Yeah,
biggest eye roll from Alex in the history of Survivor.
he
Oh
said
my
he said I'm feeling as nervous as a pair of shins in a dark room full of coffee
coffee
tables."
table. That was
So
how do
good.
you think of that?
I don't
Everyone
know.
groaned at that. I thought that was phenomenal.
I thought it was
It's
so funny.
it's
Like
fantastic, and this is the same guy that brought us Do You Want Space or Kangaroo?
or kangaroo.
I didn't think you were gonna choose that. I only have space. So
I love Steve, and I
He's
was
so
so
good.
mad. I was so mad he went home.
He's
I
so
know.
good.
So this my next note here is Rizzo does tell Savannah and Sophie that Steven wanted Savannah out and that their side is pivoting to vote for Sophie. Because again, they think his idol expires this round for some reason. But
Because he told them. It
well,
was a bad it's a bad read by them, but
no, I know.
it's not for
It's a
some reason.
it's a great move
Just
by him, but honestly, until AJ mentioned at the beginning of this episode, the question of how do you believe that never crossed my mind. I was just like, "Oh, good job, Rizzo."
It's just I don't understand it, and I won't understand it until I see precedent of a different idol expiring at 6 and not 5. I will never
That
understand that.
that
But
Yeah.
thought just never crossed my mind until you said that, and now it's all I can think of. But Rizzo was incredible. Again, I am kind of concerned
oh,
now that you said the jury is kind of tired of his theatrics. I am kind Kevin, you said that. I am
yeah.
kind of afraid of Xander happening now, though. But
I do think he's probably going to be a final tribal council loser, just based on what's happening. But like also another thing, if someone's telling you that their idol expires at 6, you should just assume that's a lie. Like, thanks for telling me this information. You definitely do not want me to know. It's got to be a lie.
it's
But
opposite of Kagion when Tony said that his idol expired around later than it did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why are you? I guess Tony's like people believing the Tony lie makes more sense because everyone knew his idol was special. They didn't know what the power was, but they knew it was a special power. This is just a normal idol that everyone just
Yeah.
believed for some reason. Um, and then even if it expires at 6, why did no one try to flush it at 7 then? I mean,
Why didn't anybody try to flush it at 10? I
I
mean,
know, I
They've been
know.
talking about wanting to try to flush his idol since the merge, and we're now through six, and we're down to five, and he still has it.
exactly. Which I mean, here's the fact of the matter. At the very least, if they choose not to throw their votes, or if they chose to throw their votes on Rizzo here and he played his idol, the same result happens. Steven goes home.
Yeah,
So why not try it?
yeah, it's brilliant by him. I never even thought of how crazy them believing it was until AJ said it. So,
It's just so frustrating.
but
I just
They're not trying to preserve a relationship with anybody at this point. It's all in self-preservation that they're making the moves they do.
I'm glad you mentioned that about not preserving a relationship because I have two more notes before we get to tribal. One is Steven officially telling us in confessional he played his block of vote on Savannah. So if Sophi plays knowledge is power, she will have wasted it. Spoiler alert, she does, and she did. But then this next note is why I'm glad you mentioned the phrase they're not trying to save relationships. We get this confessional, or like two confessionals from Sophi, where, well, if I try to take Stevens, but I mess it up, or I don't know what it is, I know Rizzo's is an idol. That can save me. I didn't know him a few weeks ago. I'm here to win. And they really give us this confessional, making us think she's considering making the move that's best for her game over preserving a relationship.
You know what I
And they
think that
made it
was?
look believable, but I honestly am like, okay, she's not taking his idol. We would have heard about it before now if she
You
was.
know what I think that was? Okay, I'm a Survivor producer on the island right now. Hey, Sophie, tell me what the rationale is for why you might use your KIP on Rizzo.
Yeah,
so
And then they
after the
clipped it.
fact, you guys are 100% correct. Um, and usually I always usually see through the BS that the story editors are trying to give us and like why the other thing could happen and how the other person going home is definitely not going home. Usually I can tell what's going to happen at tribal going into tribal.
yeah,
This one I actually did buy. Because like the entire season I've thought Sophie was going to win. And I thought her stealing Rizzo's idol was going to be the thing that like solidifies her big move, gives her something over the top in order to win. So the entire time I thought she was going to steal this. And I thought this confessional was great because it was
yeah.
right before Tribal and it's barely been talked the entire episode of her stealing it. So maybe it was just them hinting at it for Tribal for like a big reveal and then it didn't happen. But I honestly didn't think she was going to take it to
I
Rizzo
believed
because
it for like a minute. Then I thought, well, if this is what happened, they would have put this idea in our head before now.
sure, and like it's
So
not the confessional itself is not why I thought it was going to happen. It was just the fact that I thought Sophie
yeah,
was going to win the game for many weeks, and I thought this was going to be the moment that is why she wins, and it just wasn't. But
My pushback is only I feel like if Sophie successfully makes this move on Rizzo's idol, Sophie's the one we're talking about playing on Survivor 50.
true, yes.
again, I'm so mad at the people that leaked the returnees online.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't look at it that way because, like, you never know, like, a person's schedule. Like, maybe she just wasn't able to play 50. Maybe she didn't want to because the first time was too taxing. I don't know.
Yeah,
But you're right in that. But I just didn't think of it that way.
Mhm.
yeah. That question of preserving relationships or not did come into that confessional. So that's what led me into that, Kevin, with you using that
Yeah.
phrase.
Yeah.
We go into tribal. My first note is what you guys said. I'm as nervous as a pair of shins in a dark room full of coffee tables.
That was just so good. How
We
do you
already
think about
laughed
that?
at it, but it's worth laughing at again because it's so
It
funny.
was so I don't know why people hate that. Like I love corny dad jokes. Like come on, that was good. But
Okay, so now you know how I felt last week when you were throwing shade at fried chicken and waffles, and I said that was hilarious.
I agree with Bruce on fried chicken and waffles. I'm just
He
gonna put
doesn't
it out
agree
there.
with me very often.
And I
No,
don't agree
because
with him.
like these are different. Like this one, it's a player making his own joke. Fried chicken and waffles was Jeff like inserting himself into the cast, and like he
I
was
know.
the one that started the song. Like it wasn't like Eva started the song or Shaheen started it,
True.
and everyone just started singing with them. Like Jeff was
Shaheen did had his own little rap to it, though.
Yes,
yes, he
Shaheen's
did.
rap made it better.
Correct, but I think just Jeff, like Jeff was the one that started it, and I was like, "Come on, dude! Like this is
That's
so
fair.
dumb."
That was funny, though. And so before we vote, Sophi does her knowledge is power thing. She asks Steven. She wastes it like we knew she would as soon as we heard what Steven's advantage was on the island. What does this need to be played before the vote?
Yeah,
Yes.
Knowledge is power?
yeah,
Okay. I think I
Did
missed
did
that.
you guys watch Australia versus the world?
yeah.
Yeah.
So like the thing with Parv not telling whatever the blonde chick's name was from Canada that
Yeah.
she Cass, yeah, that she didn't have to like use it before the votes were read. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
We haven't seen one actually played since 41, I don't think. I think I forgot that it had to be played before the
Are you talking
vote.
about knowledge is
Dr-
power? Yeah.
Drea played it on Mike, and Mike gave it to Jonathan or something
I
in
forgot about that.
42.
Okay. I
Um,
forgot that this is when it was played, though. For some reason, I was thinking it was played when idols were played.
Uh, yeah.
So,
Again, when she was reading it, I still thought she was gonna take it from Rizzo because she sat there for like 2.5 minutes, like reading the entire parchment, and it showed Steven's face laughing because you knew that he didn't have it anymore. Like the audience knew that Steven had already played it. It showed Rizzo in the know, knowing that she was gonna take it from Steven. And I thought there was gonna be this huge reveal that no, I'm taking Rizzo's and Rizzo's going to be shocked. Steven's going to be shocked. It's going to show the jury being shocked.
you
Like
know.
the build up, I thought there was just so much build up to
It
where
would
the
have been
jury,
great.
And
I because like
her lead
usually,
in, too, which was
yes,
this is
and
someone I've really come to respect and have this good relationship with.
exactly. And I didn't think the editors were like going to have us be in the know this much for there not to be a reveal. Like there was no
Yeah.
twist.
It was a double bluff.
Yeah, there was no twist. And like that's why I thought there was going to be the big reveal and there just wasn't. So,
And I do appreciate because we've mentioned Sage and Christina do flip their votes. They didn't really give us a ton on that. They showed like them talking about it once. So
yeah,
when Rizzo doesn't play his idol, which we'll get to in a second, I genuinely thought we were losing Sophi for a second there until the votes
I
came through.
I just
Hey, don't forget something you mentioned earlier that is kind of funny before you get into the votes is that Jeff brought Shakespeare in the Park back again. I just wanted to highlight that.
Forgot about this.
what did he say?
Yeah. He started like quoting Othello or something weird.
I don't even remember that. I watched Othello in like eighth grade, but with like
I
Lawrence
forgot.
Fishburne.
Oh my
But
gosh. So
I
Rizzo
just
knows they're targeting Sophi at this point because he mentioned
I
it at camp. And I'm thinking, what if he stands up and plays his idol on her?
I thought he was going to, and the second he didn't, I thought Sophie was
And
done.
then, like, I wrote that, then he did, like, his whole should I play it on myself? Should I play it on you? Back and forth. Walks up to Jeff and goes, I'm sorry, Sophi, if I just cost you this. I'm keeping this for myself. And then just goes and sits back down and doesn't play it on himself.
Stone cold. This guy's got
that
stone.
was epic.
He does have stones, but if Steven's right and the jury hates that type of stuff, the fact that he keeps doing it might hurt him.
Sure, it was
Mhm.
just self-preservation. Like I thought Sophie was going home. Like there was a part of me that thought, did Sage flip? Did Sage flip? But I thought Sophie was toast, so I was shocked.
Especially because, like, either the first or second vote Probst reads with Sophie. I'm like, no, I'm losing my two favorites back to back. This sucks. And it ends
Uh,
up being a 4-1 vote.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
Also,
crazy.
also Jeff was a savage way before that though. When he told Sophie, well, Soph Steven doesn't have an advantage and neither do you.
Oh, that was good. That
That
was
was
Yeah.
awesome.
good.
Also, I do love Probst is still doing the soap thing, but in the theme song, her name is Sophie on it again.
Wait, did they change it back? Like,
They
did they
did.
change?
Mike
They
Bloom
did.
shared that on Twitter. Mike Bloom or someone shared that on Twitter that it says Sophie on the theme song again.
Well, like, no, okay, so like they had it as so. I don't watch. I mean, I didn't watch the theme song
I
usually. Like,
think they had changed it to Soph, and now that Sophie S is gone,
that's
they changed it back.
crazy.
It's so funny.
I love that.
The
And
one that pissed me off the most was a couple episodes ago. Savannah was talking about Sophie Belardi, and like you could tell she clearly said Sophie, but the editors like cut off the IE at the end and like made it to where she said
oh, I
soap.
missed that.
And
That's
like it
funny.
was so poorly edited to where you could tell what they did. It was so dumb.
I will say I've said on this show a few times, why doesn't he just do what he did in Cambodia and go by last name? I saw Sophie talking about this in an exit interview. That's what he was gonna do, and someone that remains nameless on the cast decided that was too hard or the names were too many syllables or something. So they did Soph and Sophie.
And then they
Damn.
were gonna do yellow or blue Sophie, and Jeff said, "No, we're not doing that
Yeah,
shit. You guys are gonna have real names."
he was against the yellow and blue very much. But the last name thing is they were going to, and someone decided that was too confusing. So,
Damn, they should have done the last. Yeah, because Soph and Sophie's better. Just the last name thing is way better.
but yeah, so as the first couple votes are coming in, I wrote down, I think Sophie is gone, and now I'm sad. And then I wrote, Steven still went home in all caps. That was a bit of an emotional roller coaster for me there.
I was so mad. Steven was my favorite, I think, on the season. I wanted him to stay, but I knew he like
He's so funny, though.
yeah.
I put Sage flipped all of that for nothing because
I stopped
so
trying to
much
under.
crap happened just for a 4-1 vote.
I know I don't mean this as a shot because she is entertaining and I know she's your favorite. I have stopped trying to understand why she makes
Okay.
the move she makes. I don't get it.
Couldn't
So
agree more.
I also agree. I wrote down here, Sage is what is wrong with Survivor 49, but she's still my favorite.
It yeah.
Like she's
I
it's weird because like if you think about it, every single vote this post-merge besides the Juwan vote, she's been like the deciding factor for a lot of them. And
yeah.
in my opinion, I think a lot of the moves have been the incorrect move. But she has been the one deciding what happens. So
But it's been the incorrect moves for her, I think. It's worked to the benefit of the people I've been rooting for. So I'm kind of
sure.
okay with her being all over the
Sure.
place because it's benefited my rooting interests.
I
Well,
just go
it's
ahead.
the opposite for me.
Yeah.
Because
She
my
is
rooting
your rooting
interests are
interest
getting
and
screwed by her moves.
she's actively playing screwing herself with her voting decisions.
Yeah.
I
And
think this was the wrong move, and I want to explain why.
yeah,
I think if you vote out Sophie here, you go into final five, and you can either vote out Steven or Savannah at five, depending on who wins immunity. At five here now, if Savannah wins immunity, Sophie is not going to flip on herself. So you know Sage or Christina are going home. Like they want to flip Sophie to vote out Savannah, but now no one's there to beat Savannah in immunity. So now Sophie's gonna stay with Rizzo and Savannah. So Sage and Christina are cooked. Um,
immunity at 5 is going to be ginormously.
yes, it's just I don't see them beating Savannah in any challenge.
So
Um, I, if you take Steven at five, the way the jury has viewed things, which I disagree with, I think they think Rizzo is not deserving of a win. So if you're Sage, you could probably potentially beat Rizzo and Christina at three. So take out Steven or Savannah at five, and then try to take out the other one at four. Because I guess, but I don't know.
Unless Sophie still has that I can't beat them in her head and flips at 5, I think they're going home at 5 and possibly 4 if they don't win immunities.
Well, even if Sophie wants to flip at five, if Savannah wins immunity, there's no option because Rizzo's
Yeah.
safe and Savannah are
But
safe.
if Sophie, Sage, or Christina win immunity, that's fully an option, though.
if
Exactly,
Santa
but
wins
they've
immunity, that'd be crazy.
Yes, but none of them have shown any like Sage got second place in this challenge, but I don't really think it was as close as they tried to make it out to be. I just
Yeah.
don't see them beating Savannah Challenge. I don't know if you guys saw the preview for the finale next week, but there's a clip of Christina like sliding down a slide covered in mud, and she like almost breaks her leg and shouts in pain. Like she's not fucking beating Savannah in a challenge. So I don't
No,
know.
I,
no. Here's my only thing. I don't think that even with the jury viewing Rizzo in the light that they do, that
Which
they
is
would
stupid.
award Christina. Yeah, I agree it's stupid, but I don't think they would reward Christina or Sage, who haven't really done that much outside of Sage making blundering decisions for herself,
Sure, I
with $1 million. And so I think that the reason why this might have been the right move for them is the simple fact of Sophi is the only other person who hasn't really made a move all season that they could argue for a win against. And
it,
while I think that nobody's going to beat Savannah at an immunity challenge, if somehow they did pull it off, that's the only way that I mean I would rather get I'll say it. I'd rather get fifth than sit there and get no votes at a final tribal.
Sure. It's just then now they have to beat herd immunity
if
Yeah.
and flip Sophie.
if
Yes.
Sophie
So
wins immunity and then somehow does flip, and you have a final three of her and Sage and Christina, I think she wins.
But I think Sage has a way better argument against her than Rizzo or Savannah.
Yeah,
I think Jawan's gonna be like championing her like the
yeah.
entire time. So
Oh yeah, no matter what. If Sage is in the final tribal, she's getting one vote.
It'll be
probably I
Deshaun getting Danny's vote.
it feels like Savannah's game to lose now. I thought the game was wide open coming into the episode, and now that Steven's gone and Sophie misplayed her advantage, I feel like it's Savannah's game to
And
lose.
Sophie actively decided to stay with the people that she's given us multiple confessionals of saying she's third place against them.
Yeah,
I love her, but what are we doing there?
I
That's my
know.
biggest question.
Exactly.
And I like
So
the other two too, so part of me is like happy that they're still there, but my favorite's finishing second at best. She's not winning against both of them. I think Savannah wins, and then Rizzo and Sophie is a toss up for second place if that's the final three.
agreed.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but say Sage does pull out immunity at five, though, everything chaos happens,
Yes. Um,
Or it's a 3-2 vote on Christina, and we're going.
which is most likely. Honestly, those three aren't breaking at this point. I know I keep saying if Sophie flips, that's not happening. If it was going to, it would have been this week.
exactly. So I think you should have kept I think they should have kept Steven in my opinion, but I don't know.
But okay. My other part of the argument is at this point, Sage and Christina do not know that Sophie has gone from yeah, I'm okay with, or yeah, I need to flip to no, we're locked in.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
so
Sure,
and
it's
so
just
they're voting based on what they believe to be true.
Yeah, that's fair. This was a fun episode, guys.
Yeah, but we haven't talked about our player of the weeks yet.
I forgot about that.
I know you did.
Geez, there was weird moves all over the place this week. I don't know who to give it to.
I mean, Savannah definitely gets the MVP, I would imagine.
I'm
Yeah,
giving it to Rizzo.
I was gonna go Rizzo because he still has his idol.
Sure, I just think Savannah, she won immunity when she needed to, and I I don't know.
But Rizzo won immunity next round.
That's a good point.
So
And even though we don't understand how people think this way, he did convince them about the
I love it so much.
expire at six thing.
It's so good.
It's dumb, but it worked.
Unbelievable. That
Fantastic.
just that blows my mind that people believe that.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I love it. Well, with that being said, everyone check out Pit Stop Pals, check out New Generation Challengers all on Reality Realm Network, and grab your torches, and head back to camp. Bye, everyone.